Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another TheeSportsScoop mock draft. So we're going to start to pump out, if we haven't already, a lot of team mock drafts. Obviously, the NFL draft season is fully in swing. Kind of NFL free agency is a little bit over. We're not going to be seeing a lot more blockbuster trades. So today I'm here with my favorite team, that is the New York Giants, doing a 7-round full mock draft for them, going over every single one of their picks in the draft this year. Kind of giving it all to you guys. Again, I did the draft on the Draft Network before I recorded, so I won't be doing it live, going over the picks I chose. Again, the board fell actually very well for us, as you'll see in a second. Very happy. I would be very happy if we were able to get this class in. But as you guys know, subscribe for more NFL mock drafts. We're going to be getting a ton out to you guys now. And again, just as I'm saying this, me, Charlie, and Dylan are about to record an overrated, underrated draft prospect video. A ton of stuff. We have had so much school with juniors in high school, so work has been, especially coming into spring break, we've had a ton of work. So we do apologize if you guys have been followers of the channel. Last year during this time, we were pumping out a ton of videos. Unfortunately, we don't have the time to, but I can assure you one thing, that is coming draft day, first round, we will have in-depth live breakdowns and live coverage of the NFL draft with some guest hosts. So make sure you guys subscribe and join the live stream for that while you have the draft on. We break down all the picks, graphics. It's going to be a whole show. So make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't for that. Without further ado, let's get into the draft. And we have the picks up here. So again, we still have some more. This is from pick, so it's cropped out. But this is pick 5, and again, so pick 5, 7, 36, 67, 81, 112, 147 will go down as such. But at number 5, we see the Giants obviously have 5 and 7. So the whole question has been, are they going to go offensive line? Are they going to go offensive player? Are they going to go receiver, corner? We've seen a lot of mocks. But I would say, and as you guys saw who I picked here, Ekwonu out of NC State, so I ended up choosing how the board fell. Ekwonu is one of my most favorite players in the draft. Go check out my my scouting report on him if you haven't. Massive fan of Ekwonu. I think, for what the Giants want with this system they've been trying to build, running it with Saquon when healthy, Daniel Jones, we know, is a mobile quarterback, trying to get the best out of him because we've been giving him a lot of time at the helm in New York. And I think Ekwonu, one of the most vicious run blockers downfield, just absolutely pancakes guys. 10 out of 10 downfield blocking. He's just incredible at that. And I think he provides a ton to a Giants team that I don't think necessarily has a fantastic player at that second level. Again, I would love to see, imagine they get a Ekwonu and Linderbaum. And a lot of people are like, I don't think offensive line's an issue. I don't think we need to go do that. I don't think, offensive line is something we need to address as much, which I agree with. I don't think the offensive line's been atrocious, but I still think we need another solid tackle. And with him and Andrew Thomas, those are two young tackles, franchise tacklers for the future. And again, I love Ekwonu. I think value-wise, 5 is great. I think he's arguably the best player in this class. At the end of the day, who knows? Maybe he could go at number 1. He's just that good. He's top tier talent in this draft. Blue chip guy. So I do think he would be a great pick, how the board fell. And then at number 7, another one of my favorite prospects, and that's Stingley Jr. out of LSU. We were doing scouting reports in the summer on draft guys. He was the first guy, I think Thibodeau might have been, but he was the second guy we did that draft. We did the analysis on. We had on the show 2022 draft analyst. We had from Boomer Buster Draft Show, we had one of their hosts on, and obviously massive fan of Stingley. I think when you kind of look at what he brings to teams, we obviously saw he just ran a 4.37 on his pro day, ridiculously fast. So a guy that brings speed, and coverage wise, it doesn't get much better as a prospect from him. I think one of the best corners, if not the best corner to come out since Patrick Peterson, at least from LSU. He's just fantastic all around zone, man. Again, we haven't seen a ton of tape from him, which is, I think, why Sauce Gardner has risen above him a little bit. But and Sauce Gardner, another guy I love this year. But I really like Stingley. I think, for the Giants, it's definitely questionable because, we might be moving on from Bradbury. You get to give Stingley that number 24, and then we have a Dory Jackson. So I do think the secondary is definitely good. So I wouldn't say Stingley's a must-add guy. And I think safety here, if Kyle Hamilton were to fall here, that would be a great pick because you saw we lost Julius Peppers to the Patriots. But I do think Stingley, again, fantastic corner out of LSU. And then at number 36 in the second round, we got incredibly lucky with Kenyan Green out of Texas A&M. Clear the throat there a little bit. We saw Kenyan Green is one of the best players in the draft. 150% a first round guy. Not sure how the board fell here, but again, one of those very, very good on his feet. And I think when you look at this man's hand placement and foot placement, the amount of power he's able to generate in the pass and run blocking game is fantastic. A very all around offensive lineman, perfect size, especially for a guy on the inside. And then again, I mean, I think this is one of those things where you have flexibility with Ekwonu at guard and tackle. And I think Kenyan Green, I might be wrong, I believe he played a lot of snaps at tackle when at Texas A&M. But again, that offensive line would just be phenomenal with Andrew Thomas, him, Ekwonu. I think, bringing in that class would be great. And I would love to see Kenyan Green get added in New York. And again, I think that would be an absolute steal of a pick at 36. Then we saw at 67, I have them taking Kingsley Enagbare out of South Carolina. Very bendy edge, more of an outside linebacker, though, not massive size. And a guy who was projected to go in the first round at the start of kind of draft season, but then fell a little bit. And again, I'm not sure what that was. The draft is the draft season is crazy. You see players rise and fall all the time. But again, I'm a huge fan of it. I think the Giants still need to generate some pass rush, and I think Enagbare would be a great guy to kind of play on the outside on that 4-3 system. So I would be a massive fan if we get him, especially at 67. I think that would be great value, and I think all the picks here so far have been great value. And even adding to that, now at 81, we have Darian Beavers, linebacker out of Cincinnati. And if you guys watch the Senior Bowl, one of the best coverage linebackers in this class. So, Devin Lloyd, I guess, is the best, but Darian Beavers, coverage-wise, was fantastic in the combine, or excuse me, in the pro day. I'm not sure what he did. Well, you don't really see coverage in the combine, but running backs, receivers, tight ends. We even saw this guy, as I said, going up against receivers. Big physical guy, was one of the imposers on that Cincinnati defense. A reason why they were so good this year and why they were able to make it to the semifinals, because of you don't see Cincinnati or teams from that division often going to the CFP playoffs. But massive fan of what he would bring to New York. And again, I think we need a true covering linebacker. I love Blake Martinez, but I think Darian Beavers again might be kind of the heir to Blake Martinez's throne had he be drafted here. And then at number 112, another very, very value pick, a guy I could see going at 67 where we got Enagbare, and that is Khalil Shakir out of Boise State. Another one of those just guys who I think in a receiver draft class that's just absolutely stacked. Sorry, not sure why I left off there. I'm going to go to Khalil Shakir. I was just recorded all the way down to Matt Aryazza, but I guess I wasn't recording again. If I already did Shakir, I kind of forgot where I was. But Khalil Shakir out of Boise State, a massive fan of. A guy who looks a lot bigger than he is. I believe he's 6 feet, 187, so pretty good size. Again, you would like to see a guy like him be 6'2", but what jumps out about him is his jump ball ability, his ability in the air to catch it with, his ability to just get contested catches and the ability he gets, the way he catches the ball. His hands are immaculate. Very, very, very good in the air. And again, I think a guy who'll be a star, and to get him at 112 here, if I was New York, I would be so happy. And like I said before, when I thought I was recording, was in the unlikely event Kenny Golladay doesn't work out, I think Shakir is that same kind of build, obviously a little bit shorter, but that ability to catch the ball in contested catches. And I think the Giants have demonstrated interest in receivers like that. So I would love to see Shakir get taken there, and I think would be an absolute steal. But I mean, just continuing down this class, another steal at 147, and that's another Cincinnati player we're drafting, and another corner we're drafting, and that's Kobe Bryant. Obviously carries a very important name with him, but will build his own legacy from obviously the late Kobe Bryant. But he, to me, he's one of those guys, and I feel like it happens every draft season where it's like, why is he not higher than he is, and why is he not projected to go higher? And I think, again, jumps the balls a little bit, not as experienced in zone coverage. But when it comes to simply being able to stay with the receiver, there are not many corners in this class who get better. He, at the end of the day, can run the routes that the receivers opposite from him can run them better than they do. And he's just been fantastic for Cincinnati. And again, the fact that he is going this late to me just shows how good that Cincinnati defense was. I honestly think Kobe Bryant will be one of those guys, and I'll be watching. Hopefully the New York Giants actually do get him, but he'll be a guy where everyone will be like, how did he fall that far? So I'm so excited to see where he does end up going. And I think for the Giants, you get him, you get Derek Stingley, and it kind of fills the void, or the potential void if Bradbury goes, and then the void that already has been dented in Julius Peppers. Then at 173, we have an interesting one. And in terms of talent, I think this guy is a top 5 pick in terms of talent at their position. And that's Matt Aryazza out of San Diego State, the punter. I mean, this guy it will probably go into the league and be one of the best punters, if not the best in the league. I mean, the leg this guy has on him is you can't find anywhere else. He's been fantastic for San Diego State. You saw in the combine just bombs after bombs, 80-yard punts right down to the one, like ridiculous leg strength. So again, I think for the Giants, special teams are still important. Punchers are still important. So, again, a little bit more of an interesting, fun pick, but I still think it would be worth it. And then for the last pick at 182 for the Giants, that's Justin Ross out of Clemson, a guy who would be a first-round pick had he not had that, I believe it was a spine issue, but I believe he is okay now. A guy who was fantastic with Trevor Lawrence, big physical guy. And I think, I might have been wrong about Khalil Shakir. I guess now thinking about it, if Kenny Galladay doesn't work out, Justin Ross is that guy. And to me, every single one of the picks that I took with the Giants here are starters, or at least, rotational guys. None of these guys are guys you're going to have to sit for very long. I think Justin Ross could be a star in the NFL. Again, took some steps back with that injury, but, in terms of, just like Shakir, in terms of contested catchability, he's fantastic at it. And again, went to Clemson, has that kind of stature. So to get anybody from Clemson at 182, I think would be great, great value. And I'm a massive fan of getting Justin Ross, what he'll be able to bring to this team. And again, getting him there at 182, I think would be an absolute steal. But let me know what you guys think down below. What do you think of the mock draft? Make sure you guys subscribe. Let me know what you think of the picks. What picks would you have liked? Who do you guys think will fit in New York? And let me know what you guys think down below. A ton more videos to come. We have spring break, so a ton of more content will be coming out. We'll try to go live as well, so you guys can stay tuned for that. I hope you guys did enjoy. My name is Cian McDermott. More draft stuff to come, and I will continue to remind you, draft live stream, first round coverage. Make sure you guys subscribe, stay tuned for that, and get in the chat when we do end up going live for that. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.